Funny story about me and this book, Leonard and Hungry Paul. You see, I was buddy reading it year, last month, with Pat at Book Chat with Pat. And I was also reading, and I'm still reading, it's a group read, Against the Day, Pichon. And Against the Day, the beginning is really the best part of the book, but it's really exciting and really a lot of characters you have to remember. And, so anyway, I was reading those two together. And Hungry Paul, I was just reading kind of piecemeal, a chapter or two at a time, then back to, Against the Day. I mean, I'd wake up in the morning and go back to Against the Day, and I keep pointing down here because it's open and I'm reading Against the Day today. I like it. I think it's a really good book. But one of those books that, it's a good book if it calls back to you. And, So, regress a little more to our Monday night live show. Greg, another bibliophile, reads, and I. And I'm on the show, and we're talking, and the comments are, I forget the comments are even going, actually. Because if you notice, I'm myopic, and I have to go like that. I have, bifocals. So to read the comments, you all see me go like that if you've been here before. And on the show, I go, I think I'm going to have to DNF Leonard and Hungry Paul. Yeah. Now, DNF doesn't mean exactly to me what it means to y'all. To me, DNF doesn't mean I'm done with it. It means it goes to my DNF shelf. Pointing down there to my turntable and records, but at the bottom, I have a nice cart, wooden library cart with wheels on it. Yep. Well, I'll show it to you another time. But what were we talking about? My DNFs. Like I have Lincoln in the Bardo DNF. I have several Master and Margarita. I'm definitely going to get back to these books. Anyway, Pat was in the watching the show, and she sent me a personal message. I saw it later. You're gonna stop reading the book, a hell of a way to find out. And I go, God, what? Anyway, I found out what happened. No, Pat, no. And so I finally finished it. This is a type of book that I need to read, and you can read. It's it's a great book. Okay, somebody timestamped this. He gets to the review at 4. So glad I've read this book. It's by an Irish writer. I forget his name. I know it's like Rónán, Hession. And one thing I found about the book, it does not take place in Dublin. I take that back. London is mentioned in the book. I don't know if they specify the city, but because I was kind of an Irish writer, thinking Irish setting, but let me talk about Leonard and versus Hungry Paul. They're two single men in their 30s, and they live at home still. Yeah, they've never been married. They don't have children. And Leonard is the more creative of the two, where Hungry Paul would be more spiritual. For example, Leonard, for his job, he's a encyclopedia writer, artist. He's got a real talent for it. Now, I'm not going to go as far as plot, I don't do that in my reviews because I'm afraid to spoil something. Whereas Hungry Paul is into jujitsu and like spiritual that end of it a little bit. And Hungry Paul only works 2 days a month. He lives at home, and they're both happy to live at home. Except for Hungry Paul's sister, Chris, but she's having like a normal life and getting married, so we have that side story with them. But she thinks Hungry Paul should time for him to get out of the house. Now, both parents are there in that situation, whereas in Leonard's, his mother is only there because it opens like early on with Leonard's father died in childbirth, which I thought was a funny line, to say about a man. Leonard almost has a girlfriend, and this is a main line in it. It's very sweet and quite innocent on his end. It's it's not a leap to think he's a virgin. They like to play popular board games in the evening time together, as they talk on a daily basis, and Scrabble is popular with them, as are simpler popular games like Battleship. Now, I can't imagine myself playing Battleship or wanting to, but there's some old good board games. I'd like to play some new ones. It has a very satisfying, happy ending. Now, I got choked up in this and kind of frustrated with Leonard and his girlfriend. She has a son named Patrick. A few conflicts in the book. So, lovely read. Very popular novel. Then after I read it, and I read it in like 3 days, 3 days, Pat and I chatted about it even more. I'll link to her review below in the description box. If you're watching this, Pat, you pick the next book. Talk to you later.